If you retired overseas 6 or 8 years ago, when you had a social security check of $1,200 or $1,500 a month or whatever at the time, there are some countries where your annual cost of living adjustments to your social security check would have kept up with inflation overseas. Other countries have experienced such high inflation that your lifestyle would have declined rapidly. But nobody talks about that online. In this report, we're going to talk about which countries overseas retirees are getting hammered by inflations, and which countries retired expats are still fat and happy on Social Security alone. Additionally, I will share 3 short questions you can paste into ChatGPT to find out if the cost of living adjustments on your pension have been sufficient over the last 5 years to support your lifestyle overseas in the country of your choice. Additionally, in countries where inflation has already hammered areas overseas, I will share my 3 favorite techniques that will help you maintain your lifestyle overseas if inflation is already crushing your lifestyle overseas. Inflation for overseas retirees. I will begin with a few of the key destinations for overseas retirees. On vagabondbuddha.com, I cover 9 cheap countries in Asia, 9 cheap countries in Latin America, and 17 cheap countries in Europe. So my feet on the ground reports cover my favorite 35 retired cheap in paradise countries, even though I've had my feet on the ground in 73 countries so far. Some countries are just not good enough to even be considered, in my opinion. First, I'll show you what inflation has done to your lifestyle in 2 Southeast Asian countries, 2 Latin American countries, and 1 European country. Then I'll show you the exact sentences you can copy into ChatGPT to find out if your pension cost of living adjustments would have sustained your lifestyle in any country you are curious about. I'll start with 2 hot countries in Southeast Asia. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is the webpage vagabondbuddha.com, where I maintain all of the data about Asia, Latin America, and Europe. This is a membership site. I'm not recommending you buy a membership right now because I'm going to have a sale in a week or 2, but it would be smart to grab this free ebook, get on my email list so you'll know when that happens. Okay, so we want to start with Vietnam. So you just come down here. By the way, I'm showing this because I have members. I'm showing this is new information for them, but also anyone who's watching this video. So at Vietnam, just click Vietnam, and then it'll take you over to the places in Vietnam where we have reports. Here's all the reports. I'm going to use, this is just for Vietnam. As I said, there's 35 countries. I'm going to start with Nha Trang. Just as an example. So here's the Nha Trang Retired Cheap Report. And the full report is, you just download it with this button here. But what I want to talk about today is this 2025 for Vietnam is the cost of living updates. I'll click that, and then we'll come over here. And I wanted to show you what's happened, like why some countries are inflating faster than the cost of living updates for Social Security or pensions. And which countries those are. So I wanted to show you where this data is located, but then I'll just switch to some graphics for the other countries I'm going to talk about because it goes faster. But here you can see Vietnam in 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24. Here's its inflation rates. This sort of information is available online from several sources. And then we have what a US dollar traded for Vietnamese dong for the year 2020. 21, 22, 23, and 24. This is in text, but I'll go to graphics in a minute. So in 2019, if I were living in Vietnam on $1,200 per month, that would be about 27.8 million dong. After adjusting for Vietnamese inflation for the years 20 through 24, that same local lifestyle would cost about 32.2 million dong. If we use the August 26, 2025 exchange rate, it would cost now $1,227 per month to maintain the same standard of living as $1,200 did back in 2019. However, if your 2019 pension is Social Security, after the cost of living adjustments of U.S. Social Security between 20 and 24, you'd be receiving $1,469 per month in 2025, if my math is correct. So your standard of living would have risen in Vietnam because the cost of living adjustments and currency exchange rates grew faster than Vietnamese inflation. Of course, past conditions are no guarantee for future conditions. Oh, by the way, this goes on to discuss the difference between cities within the country and then gives the present cost of living estimates for Nha Trang for low to middle, and so you can look at that also. Okay, let's now move on to the next country, and I'll use graphics. Quick reminder where all this is located, vagabondbuddha.com. Go down to Asia, and now we're going to look at the Philippines. Click there. So we have the Philippines reports, and we're going to look at 𝗬𝗎𝐷. It's one of the popular ones. Click 𝗬𝗎𝐷. And here's that inflation updates for the Philippines. It's all down here, but I'm going to switch to graphics now to make this easier for you. Okay, so if you came to the Philippines in 2020 and with $1,200 a month, the average for the year was 49.6 pesos. So that means you were living on 59,520 pesos, Philippines pesos per month for your monthly, which is equal to $1,200 on average throughout that year. So in Philippines, the inflation for 2021 through 2025 took that 59,520 and it increased to 71,250 Philippine pesos living costs. Now your 71,250 pesos that is inflation included through 2024, if you convert it back into US dollars at the time, August 26, it was 56.67 pesos per USD. You would have spending $1,256 per month for the same lifestyle. Now, your Social Security COLA increased between 2021 and 2025. Your $1,200 a check for 2019, because of the COLAs, increased to $1,443 in 2025. And since $1,443 is more than the $1,256 Philippine inflation, you were living high on the hog. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Hey, what about my country? I'm going to do 2 more countries just to give you a couple more examples. Then I'm going to show you how to do it on ChatGPT yourself with the exact words to plug in there. And then I'm going to tell you again the 3 things that you can do if you're already being hammered by inflation. Okay, so this is Guatemala. In 2021, if you were living on 1,200 US dollars a month in Guatemala, your inflation in Guatemala, when it was converted back into US dollars, would cost $1,415 per month to remain in Guatemala at the same lifestyle as you did at $1,200 in 2021. And your Social Security COLA for your US Social Security would have increased your check to $1,426 per month. And so your COLA would have been more than the inflation. So in Guatemala, it's a win. You're able to maintain your same lifestyle. Now it's time for Panama. If you were living in Panama in 2021 on 1,500 US dollars a month, which Panama is operating on the dollar, your inflation in Panama would have raised that same style of living to $1,577 for the years 22 through 24. Now, your Social Security check in the U.S. would have increased your monthly amount to $1,782 for your Social Security cost of living adjustment. And since your cost of living adjustment of Social Security is $1,782, and your cost of living in Panama for the same lifestyle is only $1,577, you're actually ahead of the game. Okay, let's peek at how to do this with ChatGPT. Okay, don't worry about these prompts. I'll put them on the web page below so you can copy them and use them. Okay, here's the first prompt. If I were living in Thailand in 2019 on 1,500 US dollars per month, what would my cost of living be in Thai baht per month for 2019 using the average exchange rate for the year? Okay, ChatGPT says I thought for 13 seconds using 2019 average USD to Thai baht of 31.045 per USD, 1,500 per month in 2019 converts to 46,586 baht per month. Next prompt, using the inflation rate in Thailand for the years 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24, how much would 46,569 baht per month that I paid in 2019 cost me in 2025 to maintain the same lifestyle? So how much would it go up? ChatGPT says, let's adjust your 45,569 2019 forward with Thailand's annual inflation rates. 2020 minus 0.85, 2021 1.3, on down to 2024 plus 2.5. And ChatGPT shows you its work. Step 1, apply the yearly changes right on down for each year to 55,707. And then answer, by 2025, to maintain the lifestyle, you would need about 55,700 per month. Would you like me to now convert into USD using today's exchange rates? You could directly compare it to US Social Security. So it's thinking ahead of me here. So here's my next prompt. Using today's USD to baht exchange rate, how much would 55,700 baht be in USA today? So today's USD baht exchange rate is 32.38. To convert to 55.7 into USD, you multiply the Thai baht, divide by the conversion rate, and it's 1,720 USD. And again, I'll put these prompts on the webpage below, so you can just literally copy and paste, change the amount you're starting out with, the country you're interested in, and the years that you want to know what inflation did. Okay, so for the summary, so maintaining the same monthly cost of 55.7 in Thailand in 2025 would require 1,720 today. Would you like to compare this with adjusted Social Security COLA? Thinking ahead here for me. If my 1,500 USD in 2019, this is my next prompt, was Social Security, if my 1,500 USD in 2019 was Social Security, how much would it be in 2025 after the cost of living adjustments? And would the COLA increase be enough to cover Thailand's inflation during the same period? Great question. Let's line up and see. Social Security COLA is 1.3 in 2020, 5.9 21, on down to 2024, 2.5. Compound, so you multiply this out, you get 1.225. And so 1,500 times 1.225 is 1838 USD per month. Thailand inflation adjusted lifestyle. 2019 lifestyle 46,569 adjusted for the years is 55,700, and then converted to today's rate is 1,720. Compare that to Social Security of 1838, which the Thailand lifestyle is more is less of 1720. So yes, the COLA increase would be enough to cover Thailand's inflation during the same period, with about 112 monthly per month cushion left over. So those are the prompts you can use. You pick the country, you pick the year to start and how much you want to start with in your local currency, and you pick how many years or what years you want to do inflation, and then you compare it to your adjusted pension. Of course, your pension may be different, your country may be different. You won't be talking about Social Security, but these are the prompts. You just need to convert them into your country, to your that you're interested in, your home country, whether or not the pension has a COLA adjustment, and you can find out. Okay, I promised to finish to tell you 3 things you could do if you're over budget and inflation's hammering you. Number 1, you need to get new friends. You've probably seen my videos before. Down in the comments, people are saying, you can't live here for that much. You can't live here for that much. Some people, when they move overseas, they live on like high budgets. Others live on low budgets. Some live on crazy budgets if they have the money. The fact of the matter is, often the locals live on like 1/3 of what a typical expats live on, or less. So the idea that you can't live on less than what they're saying, 2,000 a month, 3,000 a month, what they really mean is they can't live on less. And so you might have to get new friends. If you're going, if you're getting hammered by inflation, you need to get your cost of living down. In fact, your cost of living should be lower than your Social Security check. You should be saving money every month and have a rainy day fund. I'll talk about more about that at the end. There's a video I want you to watch about that. But so now, what are the best friends to get for low cost of living? It's someone who's living on lower than you, or living on what you need to live on to stay within budget. And who are those people? That's the locals. It's not other expats that are living on bigger budgets than you. So pick some new friends, learn more about the culture, foods, or whatever, and learn how to save money. The second thing you can do is switch neighborhoods. A lot of expats, when they first move overseas, they move to what I call a soft landing place, where they have a lot of Western restaurants and Western bars, and they can see their sports on TVs, and so they kind of live in a little bubble that's more expensive because they're not eating in local restaurants or not living in a local neighborhood. So you can move to a neighborhood where the locals live, eat the local food, and that's a great way. So moving, not just moving neighborhoods, move to another city. You can even move to another country. The fact of the matter is, you don't want to run out of money overseas. So if you're getting pinched by inflation, you need to really think this through. How do you live below your Social Security check so that you can save some money every month? The third thing you could do is you can increase your income. A lot of expats overseas, they teach a language. Typical language is English or French, German, whatever language you have. And most expats live in countries often that have tourism. And the locals need to speak those languages in order to help those people that speak those languages that come over as tourists. So you can make money, look into that, look into maybe earning extra money by teaching a language. Or you can also start some kind of online business information niche, which is what I do. And I'll put a video at the end here you can watch about that. So make more money one way or the other, and that should help you save money rather than going over budget. So I'll put a video about, and there's a video I want you to watch. It's called The 2 Biggest Risks of Retiring for Cheap Overseas. I'll put that one over here, and over here I'll put a video about how to make money online. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Get that free ebook so you'll know when we have that 50% off sale.